Two helicopters are traveling towards Badabad, Pakistan, on board AR-24 Navy SEALs. Their target is the man behind the September 11th attacks, bin Laden. The mission is top secret, known only to the highest ranks of the US government. After a decade of searching, the world's most wanted man has finally been located. The operation has three main steps. First, they must land undetected. Second, they must enter the compound. And finally, they must eliminate or capture the target. However, bin Laden is aware of every threat, so his building is heavily guarded. 12-foot-high walls surround the complex, made of solid concrete reinforced with barbed wire. The main structure is a three-story building. Every window is blacked out. Balconies have privacy walls and shades, so high-altitude drones cannot see inside. The SEALs are going in blind. After 90 minutes flying across the feet of the Hindu Kush Mountains, the compound is in sight. Now they must land without being detected, although they have a big problem. 18 minutes to target. The White House deliberately withheld information from the Pakistani government, worried that bin Laden could be tipped off. If spotted, the SEAL team will be treated as hostile forces. To make matters worse, less than a mile away from the compound is a Pakistani military academy that is heavily armed. That's why this plan has been crafted by some of the world's greatest tactical minds. First, they must fly low on routes to the compound, decreasing the chance of being tagged by Pakistani radar. Upon arrival, one helicopter is designated to hover over the roof, enabling SEALs to fast rope down and breach the building from above, taking the residents by surprise. The second helicopter is tasked with deploying another team at the front of the main building, ensuring the assault is conducted from multiple angles, preventing anyone inside from trying to escape. Finally, 3 helicopters are waiting on standby in case backup is needed. As the men sit in the helicopter, President Obama observes from the comfort of the White House. Despite 8 months of planning, they forgot one important detail. The first helicopter descends to drop SEALs off onto the compound's roof. While attempting to hover, the pilot loses control and nosedives into the central courtyard. The tail of the aircraft breaks into two. Seeing this, the second helicopter reacts and safely lands in the open field outside the compound. Luckily, none of the passengers are injured. The SEALs quietly assemble at the critical points of entry, unsure if they've already alerted everyone inside. The real test is about to begin. While on the ground, it's clear just how self-sufficient the complex is, allowing Osama bin Laden to minimize contact with the outside world. A greenhouse is located to the northeast. Here, vegetables are grown. Nearby are a couple of animals, both helping reduce the number of trips to grocery stores. In the same area, piles of trash are burnt instead of being left to the local rubbish collectors. The CIA had never observed bin Laden entering or leaving the building, allowing him to remain undetected with his family for over 5 years. That was until now. After last being sighted in 2001, it took the CIA 9 years to find bin Laden, but your location is available in seconds, exposed to the worst types of people. Something you can avoid with Surfshark VPN. Stealing your IP address is now easier than ever and more common than you might imagine. If someone gets a hold of your IP address, they can track your location, monitor your online activity, and use that information to fool you with personalized scam attacks. However, with Surfshark VPN, you'll mitigate all of these risks and more. With a click of a button, you can change your virtual location, keeping all your online activity encrypted, your personal data secure, and your real location hidden. It also allows you to watch your favorite TV programs from blocked countries. If you hate ads, they also offer a search engine that removes every single one. Go to com Atrium or use code Atrium at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. If it's not right for you after 30 days, then you will receive a full refund. One team is tasked with breaching the gate that leads to the guest house. Multiple SEAL groups position themselves around various entrance points on the ground floor. The final team is posed outside the compound to ensure the neighbors, if anyone wakes up, they can still be controlled. 3 Navy SEALs breach the entrance of the guest house. Inside, they encounter a man armed with an AK-47. The SEALs neutralize the threat and radio in. The guest house is cleared. 3 are dead. One of them is Abu Ahmedok. He was Osama bin Laden's trusted courier and closest confidant, a man who unknowingly led the CIA to this compound. During interrogations, countless captured operatives mentioned his alias. Once his real identity was discovered, the CIA tracked his movements, eventually tracing them to this compound and with him bin Laden. But why would bin Laden hide in Pakistan of all places? With US military presence heavy in Afghanistan, Remaining there was far too risky. Pakistan, being a neighboring country, allowed him to slip across the border unnoticed. The location also made it easier for his couriers to travel and report updates regularly. Back on the ground, Phase 2 of the mission begins breaching the main house. The team at the southern entrance carefully unlocks the door and enters the first floor, where the family typically spends their leisure time. The first room is a modest sitting area, with floor-level couches covered in abstract floral patterns. The space is surprisingly shabby for a house located in an affluent neighborhood. Opposite the kitchen is a small room used as a makeshift classroom. Here the children of the household are homeschooled, mainly in Arabic in the shadows. A figure crosses the corridor. A man peers from behind a doorway and the SEALs open fire. They storm the room. Inside, another man lunges for a weapon, but he too is taken down. With the threat neutralized, the SEALs spread out and clear the rest of the first floor. No more hostiles are found. They've made it inside, but a thick metal door blocks access to the second floor. Standard breaching charges won't work. High-powered explosives might, but the noise could compromise the mission. Instead, the team uses precision breaching charge targeted blasts designed to destroy the lock without attracting too much attention. Unable to breach from the inside, the SEALs exit and radio that the first floor is clear, but the mission is far from over. Reaching the second floor remains a major obstacle. 6 minutes to the target, a second SEAL team lands and approaches the front of the compound. There, they locate a staircase and a reinforced gate leading to the second floor. After placing a charge, they breach the entrance and begin moving carefully up the stairs. Suddenly, they hear footsteps above. A man in a white t-shirt looks down. Curious, he is immediately neutralized. It's Khalid bin Laden, Osama's son. The SEALs now gain access to the second floor of the compound. Despite having no internet or phones, this floor served as a command center for senior operatives. 3 rooms are filled with vital information computers, hard drives, and storage devices containing secrets and operational plans. Bin Laden was cautious. He avoided electronic communication. Instead, he relied on handwritten notes or USB drives delivered by couriers. Messages were carried physically, then uploaded from distant locations, making him nearly untraceable. But this analog method had one weakness. Everything had to be stored somewhere, and now the SEALs have found it. This trove of intelligence could change the course of the war on terror, but first, they must finish clearing the compound. They prepared to move to the third floor, the final step of the mission. 2 minutes to the target. 10 years earlier, Osama bin Laden was trapped in the Tora Bora cave complex in northeastern Afghanistan. Surrounded by US and Afghan forces, he and over 1,000 fighters endured relentless airstrikes and ground attacks. It was once reported that he recorded a farewell message, convinced his capture or death was imminent, and yet he escaped. Whether through a hidden tunnel or with the help of local tribes, he slipped through the grasp of his forces. The team cannot let this happen again. This is their one shot. Fail now and he might be gone forever. The SEALs form a tight line and quietly walk up the staircase. They reach the third floor. It's pitch black. Even with night vision goggles, they can barely see. They listen and wait patiently for any movement. Suddenly they see a quick glimmer passing in front of them. A shot is fired and they quickly move in. 5 seconds to the target. As they rush the room, they see 2 women, bin Laden's wives, in shock. In one corner of the room, children are crying and curled up. In front of them, a tall male with a grayish beard is on the floor. They've found him. Target eliminated. But the threat hasn't ended. Another high-ranking member could take his place. Intel on the second floor could be a game changer. Hard drives and other information that could expose the entire organization, delivering a second devastating blow. Out of nowhere, a troubling message crackles over the SEALs radio. The Pakistan military base nearby has ordered jets to take off for immediate action. They know something is going on. Time is running out. The team quickly starts putting bin Laden's body into a bag. They need to bring it back to the base for DNA testing. The SEALs are confident it's him, although they can't be sure. Few images of bin Laden existed. The most publicized one was taken 14 years ago, in 1997. Meanwhile, other team members are on the second floor, securing as much intelligence as possible before the Pakistani military arrives. They take everything they can get their hands on: hard drives, laptops, and phones. With the clock ticking, final checks are made, ensuring nothing critical is left behind. Before leaving, the crash-landed helicopter is destroyed to prevent its state-of-the-art technology from falling into enemy hands. As the backup helicopter approaches, the team prepares for extraction. None of the SEALs were wounded or hurt, making it one of the most precise and successful missions. but the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden. As President Obama announced bin Laden's death to the world, his burial was already underway. To prevent his grave from becoming a shrine for extremists, the decision was made against giving him a grave. Instead, his body was wrapped in a white shroud and placed into a weighted bag and lowered deep into the sea. The intel from the compound's hard drives proved invaluable, alongside unexpected finds like Super Mario Bros. And Counter-Strike. The drives contained around 97,000 documents that have taken years to analyze. The information helped expose the inner workings of how his group operated, alongside future plans. It was around 3 a.m. in Pakistan when the army chief was told about the details of the raid. It was reported that their nearby forces only arrived at the scene after the SEALs had departed. In the days and weeks after the raid, the compound would be visited by Pakistani intelligence agencies, locals, journalists, and explorers. 9 months after the operation, local authorities destroyed the compound to prevent it from becoming a tourist attraction. Today, all that is left is a concrete foundation.